Take it easy.
Gather!
Everyone hold it!
Don't give me a killjoy!
Gotcha.
I miscalculated. Let's end this quickly!
Cross over! Grow!
Busted.
This isn't good. Solidify!
Quietly now.
Hey!
Game's up. Fun's over.
I see everything!
I will have order!
Take it easy.
Stabilize!
Add Thank you for
Take it easy.
sharing my knowledge.
Solidify!
Hey! Higher, higher, hands on fire!
Here comes the catch.
Gather! Solidify!
I see everything.
This is order!
The Temple of Wisdom.
Gotcha.
Dog's over.
Busted. Things are about to get dicey. Take it easy.
I will have order!
Sharing my knowledge. See? Time to go. Hey,
Game's up. Time's over. Gotcha.
Stabilize!
the Temple of Wisdom.
This is order!
Quietly.
I see everything.
Gather!
Here comes the catch. Gotcha.
Higher, higher, hands on fire.
Solidify!
Everyone hold hands. Sharing my knowledge.
Quietly.
I will have order! Stabilize!
Game's up. Time's over.
Dog's over.
Things are about to get dicey.
Order guide you. One strike slice fall before me.
I'll remember that.
Pá.
Gather.
Make yourselves at home. I see everything.
Busted.
Huh? Go!
Quietly now.
Lucky day.
Busted. Things up. Time's over.
Huh? Time to go.
Stabilize.
Gotcha.
Dog's over. Everyone hold hands.
Busted.
This may hurt a little.
Gotcha.
I will have order.
I see everything.
Stabilize.
Here comes the cash.
See?
Solidify.
Everyone hold hands. Sharing my knowledge.
Busted.
Higher, higher, hands on fire.
Hey, Thierry. It's me.
Oh, now, what brings you here, Miss Nut?
Oh, so you've...
Oh, okay. Hey, I'm also a member of the guards, you know. The way you make it...
Are you sure there isn't a little bit of truth in that?
I mean, where I work, Callis did a fantastic job running it. It would be next to impossible for me to find a similar... Anyway. Enough chit-chat.
Yes. What happened at the Opera House made us realize that Lenny's case and my father's may be related.
Ah, I get it. If you want to go through the original files from your father's case, I can help you look for them.
That'd be much appreciated. Thank you.
Of course. Without them, I couldn't possibly handle Poisson on my own. Why do you ask? We definitely can't use them to forcefully get more evidence for your father's case.
Well, you see, just recently, we were attacked by a horde of unnumbered Gardamex in the city. So, if you hypothetically wanted to do something against me, all you would need to do was get rid of the mecha serial numbers and send them after me.
Then you think too. If I had to make an analogy, when you order a dish, the chef will make it for you. If you try to make unreasonable demands, the chef would just think you're out of your mind. And removing a serial number is also not as easy as you might think. So I can promise you, they're certainly not cheap. So, whoever their owner is must be super rich.
Oh, then you're officially in the clear, Thierry.
Jokes aside, I'd like to wish you all the best with... I'll be staying in the city for a little while, so...
Huh? Hello. How may I help you? I'm here to see Marcel. Sure. I will let him...
Navia, hello. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm not as young as...
Oh, it's all right, Uncle Marcel. I just wanted to talk to you briefly about what...
Yes, I've never...
Oh, you were at the Opera House too?
That's right. I went there with Navia to see the magic show. I also witnessed your marvelous sleuthing work. Quite. To beat the Hydro Archon at her own game on her own turf. I can already imagine everyone in Fontaine discussing your exploits over a few...
Oh, Paimon doesn't want...
Apologies. It's just how Fontaine is as a nation.
Uncle Marcel, you've also noticed that other thing, right?
Yes. I was reminded of your father's case right...
Exactly. I still don't have much solid proof, but I can set...
Oh. And what?
We were attacked on Araneus by some unnumbered Gardamex. And there was also an attempt to get me to drink, if not for the vigilance of my partner.
Oh, you're giving us too much credit.
Alas. But rest assured, Navia. Poisson will always remain. If anyone dares to lay their hand...
Thank you, Uncle Marcel. Do you have any new thoughts on my father?
About the confrérie, then I heard the sound of a gunshot.
Oh, it's okay. No need to put...
Sounds good. Just let me... All my wealth comes from...
Take it easy. Hup. Hup. We've talked to all three suspects.
None of them sounded particularly suspicious.
I suppose that's to be expected, though. If a single conversation's all that's... Anyway, even though we didn't make a breakthrough...
But where should we start? Ah, you're right! Florent mentioned...
According to Jacques' family members, he already told them that he had been discovered. If I had...
So, Jacques fired the first shot?
Oh? And why is that?
Oh, that's a good point. Jacques probably already knew that he was just being used as a tool for murder. And once he...
So, what would make more sense from his perspective would be to turn... Makes sense. But without evidence, that's still just a theory. Besides Jacques, the attack from the Gardamex has been bothering me quite a bit as well. It's obvious that our enemy has become more antsy after the secret of the primordial seawater was revealed.
Do you think he knew, even then, that we'd follow this lead to the end?
Given everything that's happened since, it's quite possible. But who among the 3 suspects would have the ability to control privately owned Gardamex? Thierry, you say? Huh. But I didn't feel like he was lying when he was talking to us about the mecha. I also don't think he'd be able to keep that kind of tampering under wraps.
Yeah. Had he actually tampered with... If the mecha were taken from the guards, it should be pretty easy to find out when and...
Florent? It is true that he was cloaked, but... Espina di Rosula is a...
So you're saying he's too broke to afford a mecha army?
Exactly. He can't. And even if he could, I don't think he would be a... Uncle Marcel? And with funds from the Confrérie, he could also afford... Still really hard for me. Also, wouldn't this mean he has been spending a whole lot of mora and energy to fight his own synth business? Who could it be? You know, if you think everything through, Uncle Marcel is indeed the most suspicious of them all.
Could we be missing other suspects? Malus didn't know about the people turning into water thing when he narrowed it down to these 3, did he?
Malus has always been very reliable, and his judgment of others' trustworthiness has been fair and well considered. When he laid out his case for the 3, the rationale he gave me made a lot of sense as well. The suspect is knowledgeable about the Spina's internal affairs, has the means to dispatch Mecha to assassinate us, and possesses significant intellect and foresight. Even if I don't want to believe it, I'm starting to see how things could all tie back to Uncle Marcel.
Well, we still have another trump card on top of all the theorizing and speculating.
Yes, Malus did say that charging straight in there would be extremely risky, but we don't have any other options right now. We need far more solid proof before we can hope to go charging in on our enemy.
Navia, here you are. Oh, I've been looking for you.
Huh? Aren't you the guy from the guards? Did something happen?
Yeah. News came from Irenaeus just after you left. We've got another trial on our hands.
Wasn't that place built specifically for holding trials? What's so newsworthy about this one?
I know. But they said the person they're putting on trial is a Fatui harbinger called Tartaglia.
What? Is that someone you know?
Yeah, we know him. Maybe even a little too well.
Well, he's been accused of being the true culprit behind the serial
Wait, how? None of our investigations have had.
That's what I thought was strange about it. So, if the charge against him stands, then it'll be next to impossible to get the guards to...
Right. Because they'll think they've all.
Yeah. And it'll be a lot...
I understand. Huh? Split up? What do you mean? Just as since this is a trial about the serial disappearances, you're right. This is our best opportunity. All right then, let's do this. I'll stall them at the Opera House. I won't have any chance of making that charge stick, though, unless we find more evidence. It'll be up.
We'll help you, just like you helped us in
Demoiselle, please allow us to accompany you.
I'm ready.
Ah, Malou, Silver.
We heard that it's our hope that...
Thank you.
See you then! Now that Navia has set out for Aranias, we should also get going. The location has already been marked on the map, so let's head over. Huh. According to Malus's info, the synth production base is underwater. Let's go and try to find the entrance. Finally found it! Huh. So this is the entrance that leads to the synth you're right. An important Navia's probably...
It would appear that I must repeat my question again, Mr. Tartaglia. Do you accept the charge that you are the true culprit behind the serial disappearances case?
To be perfectly honest, I don't understand your country's complicated court system, or the reason why I'm being charged with something I've never... However, I did hear that people who have been charged can choose to participate in a duel to clear their name, in which case, as long as I accept the charge, I can have an all-out fight with that champion duelist Clorend. I've got to admit, that's one of the most enticing offers I've ever received. When I privately sparred with her last time, she was obviously holding back.
Hey! Don't you understand? You're currently the prime suspect for a major...
Oh? Sounds like the Hydro Archon wants to lecture me on the ways of the Opera House. Then why don't you duel me too? I'm the kind of student that learns best in the heat of battle.
No. That's not what I meant.
Alas, it would appear that communication with the defendant is going... In that case, let me explain everything from the very beginning again. The goal of this trial is to determine the culprit behind the serial disappearance.
That case had nothing to do with him. You've got the wrong... Huh? What's going on? Why is she interjecting?
I told you it couldn't be one of the Fatui Harbingers.
Miss Navia, this is the second time you've interrupted the court proceedings. I only tolerated your behavior last time, but that was an exception rather than standard court protocol. I can very well...
Oh, please. Did you ever think I had any respect? We can put the discussion aside for now. I'm not here to argue with you. I'm here to charge the true culprit behind the serial disappearance. And if my charges prove true, then...
Oh. A young lady has charged in and offered to clear my name. How fascinating. Well, I'd gotten half bored to death by all these... So, Your Honor, is there nothing else for me to do now?
You may take a seat for now in the audience, but that doesn't mean the suspicions against you have been lifted. Now then, Miss Navia.
that person... Something's in... Marcel, the head of Confrérie of Cabrières! Huh? What Confrérie?
I've heard of them, but weren't they Spina di Rosula's sister or...
Oh, is this going to be a friends to enemies type situation?
Please let me remind you, Miss Navia, that charging someone is an incredibly serious matter. Committing to the charge also, and if the charge fails, depending on the circumstances, you may also be charged with the crime of making a false accusation.
Yes.
In that case, I declare the charge to be valid. Miss Navia and attorneys, members of the guards, please contact Mr. Marcel right away so that he... Mr. Marcel, you will not require an attorney.
Apologies. It all just happened so quickly. I think an attorney won't be necessary. This is probably just a misunderstanding between me and Navia.
Very well. In that case, since both sides have now arrived, Miss Navia, please present your charges.
I would like to take everyone back to 3 years ago, to the case of Callus the Unfaithful. Only through elucidating what really happened in that case can we connect all the dots for the serial
Navia, do you really think that I was the one who killed... Come on, why would I do that? Callus was my benefactor, and remember both you and I only ran to the scene when we heard the sound of a gun. If that's enough to make me a suspect, wouldn't that make everyone at that banquet a suspect as well?
I think there's no point in getting into the specifics right now. The audience doesn't even have the big picture yet.
Exactly correct, Your Honor. I must refresh everyone's memory about that case before I can explain my charge and reasoning.
I see. In which case, I will recount the findings about that case as originally recorded by Maison Gardiennage. On the day of the murder, Spina di Rosula hosted a large banquet in a countryside estate owned by the Confrérie of Cabrières. During the banquet, all attending guests heard 2 gunshots from the courtyard. When the guests arrived at the scene, they found the primary suspect, Callus, holding a gun, while his acquaintance, Jacques, lay dead. The guards' investigation did not recover any other firearms from the scene. As a result, they concluded that the suspect's first shot must have missed, while the second must have taken... The suspect did not dispute this conclusion, and also Callus was defeated by champion duelist Clarande in the ensuing duel. These are the known facts about the case.
The one with the motive to kill was Jacques, not my father. And even so, in truth, the third person shot Jacques. After that, the true culprit turned the third person... Thank you for the summary, Your Honor. Of course, the guard's conclusion appeared quite sensible to us at the time. However, we should revisit the case now that we've gained new information about the abilities of water from the
I don't...
The testimony of the victim's family confirms that Jacques had thoughts of assassinating Callus when he set out for the banquet. Unfortunately for Jacques, the true culprit had already considered this possibility. This assassin first shot Jacques, then turned to shoot Callus, only for Callus to wrestle the gun from him and kill him instead. A pile of clothing was found at the scene. The guards once believed they were used by Jacques as a costume to disguise himself. But now, since it was raining that day, the culprit was confident that they could use the rain to wash away all traces of their dissolved accomplice. Realizing this, the true culprit caused the hired assassin to dissolve into water, leading everyone to believe Callus was responsible for Jacques' murder. This is the true version of events.
So that's what happened. Wait, you're telling me something as dangerous as water from the primordial sea?
What a great theory. It also explains Callus's and Jacques' respective motives.
Mr. Marcel, you are the one being charged with the crime. You should provide a rebuttal.
But I think I agree with everything Navia just said. In fact, there was nothing in her speech that directly implicated me.
Then, may I ask some questions? In my opinion, we primarily need to determine two things. One, do you have the evidence to back up your claim?
I'm afraid not.
Boo! If you don't have any evidence, you should just go home!
I may not have the evidence with me, but I know where I could go to collect it. If we look up the deserted clothes, again, we should be able to find. Considering the serial disappearances case, the guards probably kept careful records of all missing persons from around that time.
That makes sense to me. Monsieur Neuvillette, I would consider this to be a reasonable investigative direction.
Why do I feel like Farina's acting a little differently today?
Maybe she's scared of embarrassing herself again?
Alternatively, she's become more diligent after charging an innocent citizen in the last trial.
My second question has to do with the ensuing duel. If the truth is indeed as you described, then why didn't Mr. Callus explain himself in court? If he had testified that a person had been dissolved, he could have at least mounted a defense.
I've thought about this too, and the answer is actually pretty simple. He felt there were things that were more important to him. The dissolving power of water from the primordial sea is an important secret for the true culprit of the serial disappearances case. My father could have exposed it for all to see, but he chose to take it to the grave. At that time, Spina di Rosula was in dire straits, and his reputation had already been shattered. He had no guarantee that going forward with the truth would allow the culprit to be brought to justice. What was certain, however, was that it would paint a gigantic target on my back.
Boss once told me that Demoiselle had already been selected as the next target of the serial disappearances case.
What?
If the secret had gotten out, the culprit would have fought an all-out war with Espina right there and then. I wouldn't have been the only one in danger. All of us would have stood to lose our lives. Of course, the guards might eventually figure out the truth of the matter and determine that we were in the right. But what good would that do? How can a hollow verdict protect anyone? Had this opera house ever given my father any kind of confidence in its brand of justice, Spina di Rosula would have had no reason to exist. But by staying silent, we retained the ability to deter our opponents and continue the stalemate. I was able to become Spina di Rosula's president, which made me harder to target, as well as giving me more time to grow and learn. And once I have figured out the truth and stepped up to the challenge, I will do what this opera house cannot, and restore my father's truth and honor back to him.
So, you mean to say, your father intended to die in the duelist's ring?
That's right.
Do you have any proof?
Of course. All you need is to ask his opponent. I don't need your apology, your guilt, or your support from the shadows. You don't. But since he entrusted his will to you,
So, during the duel, did you believe that Callus was intending to die?
Yes. As a champion duelist, I've fought many battles and taken a countless number of dishonored lives in my line of work. I've seen all kinds of people give their all for the faintest hope to continue live. Just one look and I can tell if a duelist is hope. I hereby swear on my name and honor as a champion duelist that Mr. Callus never intended to leave the ring alive.
Since that's your testimony, I have no more questions. It appears there really are good grounds to reopen this case.
I concur. However, Miss Navia, you still have not explained the link between your father's case and the serial disappearances case.
Right? What she said was fascinating, but kind of beside the point.
Wait, weren't they just talking about the serial disappearances case?
Of course, Your Honor. The two cases are connected via a matter of timing. In my father's case, the culprit intended to kill both Jacques and Callus. As a result, they planned to act after hearing 2 gunshots. And at the end of Linny's trial, the culprit also only dissolved the victim in front of everyone because they realized they were at risk of being identified. The culprit could only time their actions so precisely if they were already at the scene. Coincidentally, Marcel attended both the banquet and the trial.
So that's why you suspected me. Even after hearing your reasoning, I still can't help but find it a little preposterous. I'm used to it, though. You've always been an impulsive and sentimental child, Navia. It's one of your most endearing traits.
No need to appeal to pathos.
I won't try to refute your points one by one, but even if everything you just said was true, on top of that, does a person have to be physically present to control the timing?
Not what you can say to that.
I know that even with that, you might still think you can reduce the... Alas, who won't feel at least a little hurt by an accusation of murder from a girl you see as your... But if I were to dismiss this completely, you'd also think I'm not being considerate of your feelings. Do you know what the biggest flaw in your reasoning is?
I suppose you're gonna tell me anyways.
It's timing again. I'm a businessman by trade. From that standpoint, there's no reason for me to kidnap young women. It's a high-risk action with nothing to gain. In addition, I left my home in Snezhnaya when I was young to come to Poisson and work in some trade. My business only thrived when I received Callus's patronage. But the disappearances began before I ever stepped foot in Fontaine.
I do apologize, Demoiselle. This was my mistake.
No, it's not your fault. I'm sure he had come prepared.
Is there anything else you'd like to say? Would you like to check the date of my first business license against the first known case of the serial disappearances? You can also take a look at my border entry records, or ask my friends and family when I left Snezhnaya for the first time. Could those records and testimonies do something to appease the unspeakable anguish in your heart?
Seems like she got the wrong guy.
At this rate, Navia will be convicted for falsely accusing him.
I think you've done a superb job of dissecting your father's... But aren't you going against all of his wish? He wished for you to become more rational, collected, and conscientious once you've learned to be more considerate of others' feelings, and to stop rushing headlong into things.
This isn't just about me. And the biggest difference between me and the rest of the victims is that I still have the ability to search for the truth, while that same agency has long been taken from them. The people whose families were destroyed by synth abuse, the people who lost their loved ones to the serial disappearances, and the people who suffered tragic ends due to their sense of justice. Many people's images are flashing before my eyes. I'm sure some are coming to those of you in the audience as well. And whose image do you see, Marcel? Is it a man named Vacher?
Huh.
Oh, so you do know that name.
I'm merely surprised you'd suddenly say the name of someone I've never even heard of.
I was waiting for you to say that.
Take it easy.
Stabilize!
Kate! Is it because of this mechanism in the middle? That guy really prepared a lot of stuff for this place. Paimon thinks we need to go up, but Paimon doesn't see a way. Let's take a look around. Maybe we'll find a hidden mechanism that'll show us the way up. The water level is rising. Now we can swim to the top. But this is still a ways away from where we need to go.
Take it easy.
Everyone hold hands.
Order guide you. Gather.
Time to go!
Now the path is clear. Let's go!
Stabilize.
Things are about to get dicey. Gotcha.
Grow.
Quietly now.
After all that, we fought. Though, as expected, the mastermind isn't here. That's right. Then let's hurry. Let's see what's written here. Callus. Navia's father. Oh, this seems to be an investigation report on him. This should prove the existence of the third person, right? We still have the old dog's a real menace to... He can act when I concur. Let's sense... Oh, seems like we've got a bunch of correspondence between the higher-ups. Oh, look! There's an important-looking basin over here, and it's full of water. That means this is where they make all the synth. If you dilute it with Paimon, we'll take... What's this over here? Looks like some kind of plate. Experiment number 16 aims to verify Jacob Ingle. The experiment was a failure. No individual managed to resurface from the water from the primordial sea. Traveler. Paimon will try her best. It's just, how can someone write something that terrible and let you read the rest? Paimon's too scared to keep going. So that's why he did all of, but did he really think he'd be able to find a way just by dissolving people over and over? That's just insane! Huh? Isn't that the name you heard by the fountain? Paimon thought he was an eyewitness in the serial disappearances case. You mean Vacher is the one who did all of these... experiments? So that's it! Vacher was no victim. But no, that's not it either! If that's the case, in any case... Whoa! There's so much synth here! And so many bottles of ingredients that probably just contain the... Mixing in progress. Whoa! There's even fruit-flavored synth? Yep, it's... What's all this? Pink accessories, a hair tie, a necklace, even a makeup box. Oh, Paimon sees it too, but why are all these cute things? Huh? You mean the girls from the serial disappearances? They were brought here? And then they were turned into water. And all the boxes of things. These names. We've looked at almost everything here, and yeah, we haven't found anything that reveals his true identity. No wonder even Nervalet wasn't able to find anything. That way, even if we bring all this back to the opera, we won't be able to identify the... Sure thing. Time... Nothing at all! And Paimon can't even find snacks either! Whoa, really? Let Paimon see! Vinier. Isn't that Vacher's lovers? Then you found her death. Aww. It's just a normal diary chronicling their love story. So many! A whole page. The final name Marcel. Wait, but Marcel's pretty old. Hey!
And whose image do you see? Is it a man named Vacher? Oh, so you...
I've merely...
I was waiting for you.
Navia! We're back!
As expected of my partner. I just knew you...
Just how often do you intend to flout the rules of...
It's all right, Monsieur Nervalet. Given their confidence, I expect they've found the crucial... But the truth of it, Marcel, is that you've always been Vacher.
Huh?
We've investigated your lair and we already know everything! After your lover, Vinier, was dissolved, you kept abducting young women to experiment on the hopes of bringing her back to you! You even created Marcel as a new identity and destroyed all records of your past as Vacher!
So that's it. Even the villains in opera performances rarely go that far. And with that, Marcel's motive has now been established.
This information regarding your past also dismantles your prior timing defense. Well, Marcel, do you know where you went wrong? You fixated your gaze on the lover that passed away, instead of paying attention to the living people around you. So, you never noticed how we changed, or how we grew as individuals.
You also never understood Boss's real expectations for his daughter.
Or our determination to see things through.
Your determination.
Mr. Marcel, please speak up now if you would like to defend yourself. Otherwise, the trial will move on to the next stage.
Do you really think I wanted to do any of this? Pay attention to you? What for? Have you ever paid attention to me? Ever empathized with my pain? Ever known how it feels to watch the love of your life dissolve right in front? No one helped me. No one even believed me. All those decades ago, even the officers from the Maison Gardiennage were laughing. They said there's no way a human being can turn into water. So I must have gone mad from grief. Vignère's death was brushed away by all of you. Well, now you know, don't you? Ha! You only have yourselves to blame. You set up this ornate opera house in pursuit of your so-called justice, your beloved drama, while turning a blind. Vignère is dead. We promised each other that we would always be together. Wherever she goes, I will follow, but I'm not from this blasted place, so I can't be dissolved.
Hey, is that water from the primordial sea that he's drinking?
I can't dissolve! Can't dissolve! Can't dissolve! Do you all see? I can't go, I can't follow. So I did all of that. And in the end, that accursed callus, I spent my entire life living on pins and needles, only to get stabbed by his idiot daughter at the very...
The suspect is exhibiting signs of mental distress. Guards, please restrain him.
Don't touch me! Don't anybody come near me! I still need Vignère. Please, Vignère. Don't think badly of...
At this point, the verdict of this trial is clear. With Mr. Marcel's conviction, the charges against Mr. Tartaglia no...
Fine by me. I was in a bad mood, but after a show like that, I'm actually feeling pretty good.
Traveler, please submit all the evidence you have collected to the guards, so that I might review and summarize the truth. The man now known as Marcel was originally named Vacher, and worked as an adventurer with his partner and lover. During an underwater expedition, Vignère accidentally came into contact with water from the primordial sea, and was dissolved in front of Vacher as a result. Vacher learned of the primordial water's existence through the work of others, and began to kidnap young women for research, with the goal of discovering... To cover his tracks, he invented the new alias of Marcel, and began to operate a business in Poisson. During the course of his research, Vacher discovered that a diluted concoction of water from the primordial sea can induce feelings of euphoria. However, as he accumulated wealth to fund his continued research and after exchanging blows with Spina de Rasula for many years, Vacher decided to assassinate their president, Callus. Although the assassination did not go as Vacher expected, he was able to turn Callus into the murder suspect by dissolving the assassin he sent to the scene. And just recently, Vacher attempted to frame Linny as the culprit of the serial disappearances case, using a similar method. However, his attempt to frame Linny failed, and the power of water from the primordial sea became public knowledge. This case also exposed enough of Vacher's machinations. Thus concludes the enigmatic history of the serial disappearances case, with the truth. The Oratrice will now deliver the final verdict regarding the charges against... According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale, guilty.
Guards! Take Vacher away.
Good. It's what he deserves.
With that, the serial disappeared.
We really just witnessed history. Who would have thought?
Yippee! We have Navia! He's hurt so many innocent people and now he's finally getting what he deserves. Huh? Are you okay?
Demoiselle, you were absolutely...
The day our late boss had always hoped for as far...
Yeah. See, Papa? Spina di Rosula's still doing well with me at the helm.
Well now, hasn't this been a most delicious piece of drama? The villain has been caught, justice has been served, past wrongs have been righted, and it's a big ol' happy ending. Since it's been such a great show, I'll just let the false accusations against me slide. Either way, I've still got some business to attend to, so—
Please wait just one moment, Mr. Tartaglia.
What now? None of this has anything to do with me.
According to court protocol, since this trial was initiated due to a charge against you, a verdict must also be made regarding the initial charge.
Oh, come on. Is this really necessary? Haven't you already caught the real criminal? Isn't it time for side characters like me to—
Please respect the laws of Fontaine. This is always—
All right, but this sure is a lot of hassle. All I need to do is stand over there, right? Let's just get this over with.
Through evidence presented in the public trial that was just held, it has been established that Mr. Tartaglia has no direct connection to the serial disappearance. The guilty party has been identified, and thus it is logical to suppose Mr. Tartaglia is innocent of the— We now turn to the Oratrice Mécanique de— According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal, guilty.
What?
Hey! That's not funny! Didn't you just say I'm supposed to be innocent? What's with this verdict? Is your justice machine malfunctioning?
Huh? This has never happened before. The Oratrice actually returned a different verdict from the Chief Justice.
I mean, have you ever heard of an innocent Fatui Harbinger? Do you think the Oratrice might have just convicted him on general principle?
But weren't the charges about the serial disappearances case? No matter what else he's guilty of, it shouldn't affect the—
The judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal is, by law, the final verdict of the court. Guards, please take the suspect into custody per court protocol.
So this is how justice is done in Fontaine. What a joke. You've got your rules. Well, I've got mine too!
He's activating his spell legacy!
I am sorry. If you have been wronged, we will find the truth. But the rules of the court must be upheld.
Turu ay. Mga turu.
Hey, Monsieur Nouvelette, what's going on? Shouldn't they have been cleared already?
Apologies. This is also the first time I've encountered such a situation. However, according to the rules established at the conception of Fontaine, all I do is follow court procedure. As for why the Oratrice arrived at the conclusion it did, you should probably ask someone more knowledgeable than me.
Why are you looking at me? I had nothing to do with it! I don't know what happened there.
What does Lady Farina mean by that?
She says she has no idea either, but that's impossible. Didn't she create the Oratrice herself?
Yeah, so are the verdicts reports reliable or not? Can results like this really be called justice?
My dearest citizens, did you really think we'd allow an incorrect verdict to be— Don't tell me. You thought even I had been blindsided by the Oratrice's result.
But the way she looked just now, it was pretty obvious she had no idea what was going on.
However, given the state of things, I shall give you an explanation. Everything that just took place, including my supposed shock and bafflement, was a part of an elaborate performance, with every action meant to stir up drama and excitement. And, of course, for every performance, there is a script. Everything has unfolded exactly as I expected from the very beginning. As the embodiment of the very concept of justice, the Oratrice shall never render an— If you thought Child had nothing to do with the serial disappearances case, it is only because you've been blinded by the superficial appearance of innocence. Everything he's done, not to mention the danger he poses, are beyond ordinary comprehension and completely unforgivable. All shall be revealed in time. You will come to understand my noble intentions, as well as the absolute correctness of the Oratrice's verdict. Now, having said that, although I hate to leave things hanging in suspense, it is now time for this performance to end. As the lead actress, I shall be the first to take my leave. Toodaloo!
So she chose to make her escape after all, did she?
So you're saying we shouldn't put much stock into what she just said?
She probably just put on that performance to save face. As for the truth, it's unlikely that she actually has any idea. However, please be assured that I will continue to investigate this case in a personal capacity. Just as I promised, if the judgment has been incorrect, we will do our
All right. Even though we feel pretty badly for him, well, after all, he's done plenty of bad stuff. So he should have known he'd go to prison
Hey, what are you doing? Quick, stop him!
Traveler! Hey! Traveler!
Marcel! What are you doing over here?
Stop resisting arrest! Cease, or we'll add another charge to the list.
No, wait! I just want to ask the Traveler something. I'm not looking to run away. Please, just let me ask this one small thing.
Go on.
Thank you. I was being led away when I finally realized something. Where did you first hear the name Vash? I erased all records of that name. So, unless...
Are you still trying to prove your innocence? Give it up. You've already been convicted.
Really? You did? You're sure? You met her? But how could that be? How did you manage to do it? The Fountain of Lucine? Then she's been so close to me all along. Please give me a chance to talk to her again. Just let the Traveler take me to the fountain to see her one last time. This is the last request I'll ever make in my life.
What? Give an inch and you want to take a mile? Do you think serial killers get to make requests like that?
Paimon agrees. Why should we give him what he wants when he's—
This request, is it worth as much to you as your life?
Of course! Wait, no. It's worth even more than my life.
Humans. Will they betray the instinct to live just to satisfy spiritual needs? Very well. I will grant your request.
Your Honor, I fear that...
I will go with him. You do not need to worry about any escape.
In that case, I shall leave him in your most...
Thank you! Is this the place? You said she's here, but what do I need to do to see her?
Yeah, and even Paimon could hear her after drinking that thing. Didn't you just drink a lot of it on the stage as well?
Vache.
Ah!
Yes, that's it. So you're...
Vinier, it's me! It's me, Vache!
Vache? Vache?
I'm here! I'm here! Where are you, Vinier? I'm coming for you. I'm finally here for you.
Hey, wait! Be careful! Hey, what?
Vinier, is that you? It's me, Vache! Vinier!
Vache? Why did you come? Didn't I say? You don't need to look for me. You look a lot older than I remember.
It's been more than 20 years. I've suffered for over 20 years since the day you left. All this time, only the thought of bringing you back has kept me alive. Nothing else mattered to me. I must be dreaming. Who would have thought I'd get the chance to tell you all of my feelings like this? Vinier, you are my everything. I really don't know how I could live without you.
But Vache, if you ask me, this world would be better off without you.
What are you...
If not for you, I would have finished my law degree and probably become a top-tier attorney one day. If not for you, I would have continued to pursue my love of the arts, and my works would have been displayed in the Palais Mermonia. If not for you, I would at least have been able to take care of my mother. And she would not have grown old and died alone. It's all because of your selfishness, Vache. It's all because of you.
You... Wait, you are not Vinier. Who are you?
You're right. I am not Vinier. I am the sacrifices. Every woman who died by your hand, as our bodies dissolved, our consciousnesses flowed back to the primordial sea. Our thoughts circulated endlessly within the primordial sea, and we were no longer individuals, but we became one, just as streams of water come together in the sea. I'm Cressy. I'm Lemony. I'm Azine. The only one I am not is Vinier.
Why? But then...
She doesn't want to see you anymore. Every tendril of her consciousness is avoiding you. This is what you get for your selfishness. Your selfishness robbed us of our lives and our futures. You said time and time again that, but did you ever consider whether she'd want to see you do the things that you did? If she would despise you? You are a liar. A heartless murderer. The only thing you are not is Vinier's beloved. From the moment your first victim died and her consciousness merged with Vinier's, she has had nothing.
No! Vinier! She can't hate me. Let me see her, please!
You still don't understand. When I said don't look for me, that came from the real Vinier. She really doesn't want to see you, but on top of that, she also said that because it's her final drop of pity for you. She said that because she knew that if you did come here, we will show no mercy to you.
Vache.
Vache? Vache. 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 Drown.
have some time to do shopping. Gosh, it's really been a long time since we've been able to relax.
Huh. Well met, partner. I knew something great was going to happen when I woke up.
Even this weather can't put a damper on the demoiselle's mood.
It's a pleasure to see you both again.
Oh, hey, Navia! It's been a few days. Paimon's already started to miss you.
Oh, now that I believe. I'm easy to work with and always bring home the bacon. Who wouldn't treasure having...
Sounds like you're really enjoying life these days, Navia. What have you been busy with since the trip?
It's just been one thing after the other. I've been making non-stop trips. Everyone from Spina di Rosula organized a memorial for my father. We never held a memorial when he first died, since everyone knew that even if we held one back then, no one was going to come. This time, though, everyone in Poisson, and even many people from the court, all attended.
So his name's
It's been the dearest wish.
Oh, by the way, I ran into Charlotte just after I left the memorial service. Well, maybe it'd be more...
Huh? So you know Charlotte too?
Yeah, way back. I believe the story was called... To be fair, though, it was a really flattering feature. She was trying to lean on our friendship to get me to do an exclusive piece on the serial disappearances.
Oh yeah, she told us about that.
Anyway, I told her to make sure that when she writes about you guys entering the opera house with the critical evidence...
Now that's another thing to look forward to.
Oh, and in other news, I also took Clarande out for a meal.
Oh, are you two on better terms now?
While you were investigating Vacher's headquarters, Clarande gave testimony on my father's behalf. It was thanks to her that we were able to turn the tide. I wanted to thank her. I mean, there's...
Oh, that's great. Paimon also thought Clarande wasn't actually a bad person.
Anyway, now that the case has finally been solved, perhaps it will slowly begin to fade from the... Oh, actually, there's still one last thing I need.
What is it?
I should pay a visit to my father's grave and tell him the truth of what happened. And on top of that...
Miss Navia.
Indeed.
We want to go too!
Sure thing. I'd like you two to share the moment with me. After all...
And in that case, everyone...
Yeah, you're right. It's... Huh. This is where my father...
Huh? There's someone... Isn't that Neuvillette? Why would the Chief Justice be here? Huh? Navia?
My apologies. I should have asked before coming to pay my respects.
Don't say that.
Sorry about that.
Oh, I was trying to say there's no need for you to apologize. I wanted to show my father how much I've grown. But still, I doubt I've grown to the point that even the Chief...
In that case, I will stop apologizing for now.
You really could use some pointers on understanding human emotions, Monsieur Neuvillette. In any case, why did you come to Poisson?
Well, ever since that day, I've been turning a question over and over in my head. Just what is justice anyway? There was once a time when I didn't want to believe that there could be anything more important to humans than life itself. Oh, rather than that, it's probably more truthful to say I didn't believe humans were capable of resisting the most basic instinct of living things. That they could rebel against their own nature, which is also why I didn't stop your father from beginning that fateful duel. I believed that a truly innocent man would never throw away his life like that. But Mr. Callis proved me utterly and decisively wrong. If not for his sacrifice, the serial disappearances case would have... Mr. Callis made the choice he did for his daughter, for his associates, and in the end, from a certain perspective, one could say that he did it all. A justice that's higher than... So, you asked me why I came here. I just wanted to say my apologies to Mr. Callis in person. This regret has filled me with a sadness that has haunted me for days. That high and mighty chair in the opera Epiclese indeed insulates one from many important things. Spina di Rosula, thank you so much for your hard work.
So you're actually one of those types that's cold on the outside, but pretty thoughtful on the inside, huh?
Sorry about that. Self-expression is not one of my...
Didn't I just say you don't need to apologize?
Ah, so Navia and Neuvillette seem to have made their peace. Let's not disturb them for now. We can wait till after. Paimon's never paid respects at someone's grave before. Huh? Oh, Paimon didn't know that was a thing? Oh no. Paimon hopes Miss... Anyway, Neuvillette is still standing around there. It's not often that we can catch him alone like this, so why don't...
Oh, it's you two. Did Miss Navia invite you?
Mm-hmm. We ran into Navia on the...
I see.
Well, it's pretty hard to run into you.
Please feel free. Though outsiders, you helped us solve one of the greatest mysteries in Fontaine, and it would be my pleasure to return your sibling, another blonde-haired traveler. I'm sorry, but I've never seen anyone who... If he ever stepped foot in Fontaine, I'm sure he followed our laws to the letter, and had no reason to appear on the stage of the opera epic. Is there anything else? My apologies. My investigate. However, I still believe...
But you...
For many years, I have been quite aware that the Oratrice does not simply mechanically repeat the verdict that I give. As a divinely created mechanism, not only can it produce the incredible which is all to say, I was not aware such a thing. In any case, I am inclined... Based on Farina's reaction, I doubt even she had any idea what was going on. While we do intend to get to the bottom of this, for now, we regret to say that the Fatui Harbinger will just have to bide his time. If we did incorrectly convict him of crimes he did not commit, we will most certainly compensate him to the
If you ask Paimon, the only compensation he'll want is a no...
Is there anything... That the sea levels will rise and everyone will be dissolved in water, leaving Farina crying alone on her throne, but the sins of the people will be finally washed away for good? Does that appropriately sum...
That's right! It was Linny that told us...
Yes, up to the present, I think we reached a point where we have no... Rumors have it that this prophecy is rooted in the last words the former Hydro Archon left to the world before...
A prophecy? Of the former Hydro Archon?
2 parts of the prophecy have already proven correct. The rising sea... Speaking of the prophecy, Farina has also always taken it quite seriously. Indeed, she has been collecting info... If the rumors were true, then perhaps this prophecy is the conundrum left...
But with Farina being the way she is...
Is there anything else you'd like?
So, at court, the bad guys referred to that special water...
Truthfully, that name is already quite accurate. I can only surmise that Vacher and his ilk only learned of its nature and existence after... There used to be a special sea on the surface of this planet. The nature of its seawater was rather... Most of Tevat's life forms were first born in that special sea.
Huh. So it really was where everything
But today, the primordial sea no longer exists on the planet. What Vacher discovered must have been some kind of special case, or a remnant from a true...
Huh. So that's how it is. Oh, you...
Indeed. Why would the primordial sea, which was known to engender and nurture life, suddenly To be frank, that also doesn't match my understanding. Is there any... Very well. It was my honor to provide... It will soon be time for me to leave this blissful tranquility behind, and return...
You really are super busy, Monsieur Nerva...
Crime and villainy do not have the day off, and so justice must work around the clock as well.
All right, Tom. Huh? Paimon just noticed that the rain has stopped. I see everything.
Higher, higher, hands on fire! If we bury it, maybe it'll spring back to life. Huh? Phew. Huh?
Take it easy.